In the previous exercises, we mentioned profiles in the options dialog box. In that particular exercise, I mentioned workspaces and how they are a slightly different way of setting your settings in AutoCAD 2010. So let's have a look now at using workspaces. Now, your current workspace setting is always shown down at the bottom of the screen on the status bar. I'm currently in the 2D drafting and annotation workspace, and when I hover over it, the tooltip says there workspace switching. So if I click there now, I get a list of all the workspaces that I can use: 2D drafting and annotation, 3D modeling, AutoCAD Classic, or my initial setup workspace, my architectural, mechanical, industry specific workspace. I'm not going to go to the initial setup workspace, but what I am going to show you is how to toggle between workspaces and how you use them. You'll notice the tick is next to 2D drafting and annotation right now. That's because I'm using my 2D drafting and annotation workspace. It is also the default workspace when you first open up AutoCAD. Let's say I wanted to do some 3D modeling. I'll click on 3D modeling now and watch the screen change. As you can see, it loads up everything you need to work in 3D modeling. It does take a little while. It's loading up palettes and ribbons and panels. And as you can see now in my tool palettes here, I've got 3D objects that I can work with and 3D commands. You'll notice now the ribbon has changed. Look, the tabs are very different. I've got render there, mesh modeling. Notice even the home tab is very different on the ribbon now. Lots of different panels. I've got meshing, solid editing, I've got sub-object, and so on. So to get back now, I go back down here to the status bar again. If I click on the workspace switching, let's go to AutoCAD Classic. Takes a few seconds again, the screen changes, but those of you that have used older versions of AutoCAD will immediately recognize this workspace. The Draw toolbar here on the left-hand side of the screen, the Modify toolbar here on the right, and as you can see, you've got your standard toolbars at the top of the screen there, along with your pull-down menus. They're back. Look, there's your pull-down menus. Now, the good thing is, with the default AutoCAD Classic setting, you've got your Workspaces toolbar here, and it's very similar to the setup down on the status bar, the workspace switching. So what I can do now is I can choose my 2D drafting and annotation here, and as you can see, it goes back to my default 2D drafting and annotation. So what I've got there now is the ability to switch between workspaces. And depending on what environment I'm working in, I can set up a workspace for that specific environment.